Hey everybody, Patty Ann here today. Do you see that beautiful card on my screen? And you're going to see another one right now. These are cards that Stephanie was showing Tammy and I how to make based on using our scoreboard and our cardstock and that kind of thing. Well, after we made several of those with our boards, our scoreboard and whatnot, I decided to go ahead and design the same card that I could cut out with my Cricut, any Cricut machine I have, or with any Silhouette machine I have. So what I'm going to show you today is not necessarily how to decorate the card, but I'm going to show you how to use the base SVG. First, I'll do it with Silhouette, and then I'll do it with Cricut Design Space, and I'll show you where you can get the free SVG so that you can make gorgeous cards like this too. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you'll want to do is come to my website or my blog. It's pattyannsplace.com or pattyannsplace.blog. Either one of those will take you here. Once you get here, you're going to go where it says Library New, right here. Click on that. It's going to take you to the library. Once you're in the library, you'll see some of the files that we've made over the past year, I guess, about. These are some of the files, and the newest ones are at the bottom. So once you get to the very bottom, here's the latest file, and these both go together. So you'll click on this, and once you click on it, it's going to begin downloading the SVG or the zipped file that you need. And you'll know that because up here at the very top it says when you click on an image, it will begin downloading a zipped file. So let's go back down here again. Click on this, and you'll notice it's coming right down here, Stephanie's stepper card. And it comes open just like this. And what I'm going to need to do is to extract all. It won't work until I extract it since it was a zip file. So I'll say extract all, and I just leave it like it is. It's probably going to say it already exists. Do you want to overwrite it? Because I've already done this. So I'll say extract, and there it is right there. Now, I said I'm going to show you first what we see when we do for Silhouette. So for Silhouette, I can either open the Silhouette Studio file or the SVG. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to just open the Silhouette Studio document. So I'll double click on that to open it, and here it is, just like this. Both of these pieces come in here grouped together. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is right click on these and say ungroup. Once they've been ungrouped, I have this group and this group. But I still need to do some more. I don't want to leave this text on here. This is some stuff that I want to know, but I don't want to leave it on my image. So I'll do the larger piece first. So I'm going to right click again and say ungroup. And now I can, oh, I spelled score wrong. Whoopsie. I spelled score. Sorry. Anyway, so I'm going to move this over to my mat. And as you'll notice, I am using my portrait. I love my portrait. I do have a Cameo 3 and a Cameo 4 and a Cricut Explorer Air 2. But my go-to usually is my portrait machine. Gotta tell you, I love it. Anyway, so what it says here now is to score. These are the order in which I want to do these things. I'm going to, number one, score the green first. So this is score, this is scored, this, and this. After I'm done with that, I will do the red cut lines. And when I'm done with that, I'll cut the black. So to get these lines or to be able to see this stuff, I'm going to go to send. I'm going to turn on my machine at the same time. And notice over here, usually it comes in by simple and everything looks red like this. Remember, I told you I want you to do it by different line colors. So I'm going to come up here to where it says line and click on that. Now notice that there are two black ones. That's because this other piece over here, which you can barely see, it also has black lines on it. But I'm going to ignore that one. So let's see if I unclick this black. So that must be the one that goes to the other piece. So I don't need to worry about the top black one. So I'm going to uncheck everything to begin with. And remember, it says score the green stuff first. So I'm going to come here to green, and I have mine set to cardstock textured heavy. You'll need to change this to whatever machine you're using, whether it be your portrait and depending on how old your blade is and that kind of thing. But I have mine set to cardstock textured heavy, and I changed this to score. And when it's on score for my machine, I like to have this on a 2. Let me make sure what my others were. Okay. I like to keep notes. So I have it on, I have the blade actually on a 3 I had on my notes. So my blade depth was on a 3. My force I put to 9, and you can test this on a junk piece of paper yourself before you do it. And my speed I made a 2. Okay, just like that. So now I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my mat and score this. And then I will be back to show you. No, I think I won't. I'll just do the next part then. So I'm going to score this first. Notice my send is ready. So I can put this in my machine, load it, and say send. And all it's going to do right now is the heavy cardstock textured score. And do double check this on your own machine, because depending on your blade or your own machine, it may be too heavy a score and cut through, or too light. Okay, when that is done, notice up here it says the next thing I'm supposed to do is to cut the red lines, right? So I'm going to uncheck the green and check the red. I want to make sure it's on cut, cardstock heavy textured, and I know for my machine I like to up my blade depth a little bit. Okay, mine's on a 7. Again, you will have tested this and hopefully know your own machine by now. So I will say send, and it's going to cut these red lines. And then when it's done cutting the red, I'm going to uncheck the red and go on to the black. Remember, it's the second black one down. The first one went with that other square that's over here. So now I'm going to check the black. Aha, it is the first one, not the second one. See, the second one is this. So I'm going to uncheck that and check this one. Again, I'm checking cardstock textured, auto cut, the auto blade. I always use it. I'm going to up this a bit, and I'm going to say send. And when this is done, I'll bring it over and show you what we've got so far. Okay, here's what we have so far, and I'll show you how to fold this, and the folding will be the same whether you're using a Cricut machine or a Cameo machine or Silhouette machine. So I'm going to take this off of the mat, like that. And so what we have now are those 2 lines. Remember, these were the red lines. I'm going to put that down towards me. This first score line here, there's a score line here, 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 and there should be 2, one here and one here. The first score line is going to come towards me. It's going to be a mountain fold. So it looks like a mountain coming towards me. The second one is going to be a valley fold. So that means it's going to click down in. And then this one's going to be a mountain. And these, they're also mountains like that. So then what I can do is I can get my bone folder and fold these so they'll stay really nice just like that, and it will stand up perfectly. Now I am noticing that on this particular paper that I used, my score line was a little bit too deep, so it cut through a little bit. So remember when I had it on a 2 at first and then I changed it to a 3? I should have probably left it at a 2, but I think it will be okay for the demonstration that I'm doing here today to show you. So there's that part of the card. Done. And again, I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I went to send, you'll recall that I changed this. If you look back, this wait, the green, the score of the green, I went and changed that from a 2 to a 3, whereas I think I like it better on a 2. So I am going to go ahead and change my notes here, and I'm going to put my blade depth at 2, not 3, because that'll be a better score line and definitely not cut through. So, okay, let's go to the next part. So I'm going to go to design. I'm going to move this off because I'm done with it. And now I'm ready for this piece. This piece I'm going to make out of purple because I'm making an Easter card. So again, it says cut by line colors, cut purple, and then cut black. So again, what I need to do is ungroup this and get this text off. Whoops, not that. Undo. Get the text off of here so that I don't accidentally cut it. And now I'll just go to send. And again, I'm going to do it by line color. Notice the green is still checked, but there is no green. There are no score lines. And according to my direction, it said cut the purple first. Here it was. So I'm going to check that. So that's going to cut that inside box first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my mat. And the first thing it's going to cut is that inner square, inner rectangle first. Okay, and then after I'm done with that, it says to cut the black. So uncheck that, and I think it was the second one. So I'll do the second black. Remember, the first one went to the other figure. All right, so let's do the purple first. I have it on laminated cardstock for some reason. It should not be. I'm going to change that back to cardstock textured heavy, and I'll change my knife blade to where I like it to be, and I'll be done with that. And then when I do the black, I want that to be cardstock heavy as well, and I'll up that knife blade too, like that. So I'll check that. Okay, so I'm going to do the purple first. So let's put this in, and when I'm done with all this, I'll be back. Okay, that's done, so I can take this off of the mat. And this piece I need, and the outermost piece I need. I don't need this square right here, although I might save that for something if I was a pack rat, which I am. So this piece, what it's going to do is it's going to go in here, like on here, like this. And then this piece is going to go right on here. And what Stephanie did was she used her Cuttlebug or whatever machine she happened to have to add a little texture to hers. So I'll just do that quickly to mine. What she added the texture to was this frame here. So I just have something here. I don't even remember where I purchased this. I just grabbed it, and it happens to be leaves. So I'll just stick this in here. Hopefully it's large enough. Just barely. Ugh. Some of the other ones that actually are for Cuttlebug are larger. So I might want to have gotten one of the larger ones. See how this isn't going to exactly fit? But that's okay. I'll just use it as it is. Just like this to give you the idea. Stick this in here. Stick it between my two things. And then just run it through my Cuttlebug. And of course I have this the wrong way with the handle over here. It's okay. So I could do this once. Let's see how that turned out. Okay, that's really nice texture. If I want to, what I could do is just flip this back around and put these, well, how would I do this? I don't think I can. Well, let's see what happens if I just do this. That's what I should have done. I should have just done the up and down, like the goalposts, the straight up and down ones first, and then did this part second. So we'll see what happens when I mess with it now. See if I like the way it looks. You know, it's just an experiment. It makes life more interesting if you try things. It's only a piece of paper. Or actually a piece of cardstock, so let's see how that turned out. Okay, I like it a lot. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a very nice texture on here now. And so I would attach this here. And then, as Stephanie and Tammy did, put this in the center. And if I want to, I could even add some texture to that. So let me glue it here really quickly just so you can get the idea. And then we'll go on to show how to do this for Cricut. Because there's a few extra steps you'll have to do for Cricut to get this to work properly. So I'm centering this in there. And then I'll just fold it, open it up so you can see what it's going to look like. It's very cool. And you saw their beautiful cards they made. So I'm again centering this on here. And this would be a really nice card for St. Patrick's Day too, because you could put a pot of gold in here or something. And you know, that's where they had the bookmark coming out. And then I love how they made flowers. You know, we've shown how to make flowers before out of vellum or card, lightweight card. So that would be really pretty like that. Okay, so that's how easy it is to make this stepper card that I think just turns out beautifully depending on how you want to embellish it. So let's go now to Cricut Design Space so I can show you what you have to do to the file to use it over there. Okay, as you can see, I've already opened up Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to go to Upload, Upload an image, Browse, and recall that the one that I saved was Stephanie's stepper card for Cricut. It was one of those ones, or it was actually in the folder that I downloaded that I unzipped. Stephanie's stepper card for Cricut. So I'm going to open that. And here it is right here. So I'm going to say Upload. It's right here. I'm going to click on it and insert it. Okay, so notice what it says here. It says, Cricut users, you must change the green lines into score lines in Design Space. Well, I don't see any green lines. So what in the world? So let's check this out. I'm going to ungroup this first because we know we got to move this over and get rid of this before we actually start working too much. Now these are still grouped together, so I'm going to ungroup again. So I know there's no score lines on this one. I recall that from the silhouette one, so this one's fine-ish. This one, on the other hand, we know some of these lines were score lines. And actually, if you go back here, you can actually see that they're green. You can actually see that they're green when you look back here when you first came. Maybe you can barely see that. Okay, so let's say cancel. So here we are, and we're wondering, well, what in the world of these are green? So I'm going to ungroup this now. Or I don't even really have to. What I'll do is, notice when I click on this, over here, the components or the things that make this shape up are highlighted, right? And if I click on them one at a time, notice this one gets selected. But more importantly than that, if I look up here, what color is that line? Green. And it says you must change green lines into score lines. So all I have to do now is, rather than having it being a basic cut, I'll change it to score. And there it's a score line, even though it's just a part of it. Okay, so let's go to the next line. This is basic cut. Let's see what color that line is. It's green as well, so I'm going to make it a score line. Let's see this one. Okay, this one is red. So I'm going to leave that one alone because the directions don't say to do anything with the red. Let's go to the next one. This one is also red. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, click on the next one. Oh, this one's green. So what does it say to do? Change the green ones into score lines. So there's the score line right there. And if you'll remember, because we've already done this card before, this is a score line and so is this. So let's see what happens. So the last one we did was this score one. Let's check this one. I'm clicking on it. What color is it? Green. What do? Change it to a score line. The next one, well, whoopsie. The next one, what color is it? green. We're going to change it into a score line. And you might be looking and thinking, well, mine doesn't look like a score line like yours did, Patty Ann. Well, mine doesn't look like a score line yet either. But when I click off, watch. Now it looks like a score line. So now it's perfect. Other than it says Cricut users, you must change the green lines into score lines. Then make sure you attach the score lines and delete this text before cutting. So I'm going to delete that text right now by hitting delete on my keyboard. And now let me show you what happens if we don't attach the score lines. Let's just say make it, and look what happens. All of our score lines are up here on this sheet willy-nilly for no reason whatsoever. So let's cancel that. And now let's grab all of this and say attach. And now let's go to make it and check it out. Your score lines are attached exactly where they need to be, right? So we can cancel this. And then this piece is going to go on its own as well. Let's see what make it. Oh, I'm not sure. Let's cancel this. Maybe we need to attach these as well. And now let's see what happens. Make it. Okay, yes, so you need to attach those also so that these all cut out of the same piece and you don't have that craziness going on. So you need to attach all of the lines. These are cut lines. So say it says basic cut for this piece. On this one, the first thing it's going to do is score. And then after scoring, it's going to do the basic cut. And you would basically just put this one together the same way. Not a problem. Easy peasy. Attach things. And that's all there is to it, to making this beautiful stepper card. Now, I hope if you'll make some and you really fancy them up, whether it be for St. Patrick's Day, a birthday, get well, Easter, that you would join us over in our Facebook group and post your pictures. I'd love to see them. If you're not in Facebook and you don't mind sharing, send your images to us at teampattyann@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy using this file. Bye-bye.